Hello, welcome to Center 4 of our Beaks, Feet, and Feathers unit. We are talking all about birds this time and how they have adapted to their environment. This is going to be either, and I would pick one or the other, don't try to do both, either the bird search where you go outside and look for birds, or it'll be the craft where you stay inside and make a bird. So depending on the weather, depending on the interest of your group and volunteers, you can decide which one you want to do. So the first activity is go outside. You have bird search cards, and you can just go looking for birds and fill these out. By the time you get your second, third, fourth group, they will know a lot about bird adaptation, so you can really talk about what types of beaks those birds might have, what they might eat. You can get into some depth about each bird that you see. We have some of the things that they will see in other centers, like the feed adaptations and the different beak adaptations, so you can take those with you and talk about it. We also have some Rocky Mountain, some cards that they can try to identify the bird specifically and get a name for it. So there's a couple of those. You can have students trade off with that. So that's a fun one. It's a good way to get outside, get some fresh air, and get their eyes for observing birds in their natural environment. So that's the first option. The next option is to build a bird. And the way this starts, if I can find a little card, is you have each student draw a bird adaptation card. And there are things like, you eat bugs under bark with your beak, and you climb up and down trees with your feet. You crack seeds with your beak, and you attract a mate with your beautiful tail. So it gives you some specific adaptations. And then you have a variety of, these are the originals, but there are some copies in there. So different types of beaks and feet that they can choose from. The body, they all have the same body. Some tail feather options, different heads. So you can make copies as needed, and then what they end up doing is putting together a bird. So this one has a specific head, a beak, feet. So if they have some kind of aquatic adaptation, that would be an appropriate bird. Then they can color it. Here we have much longer legs, much longer beak. So this is kind of putting to action. It's a fun craft, but it's also putting their knowledge to work so that they can build a bird with the adaptation required. There are some feathers. There's a bag of feathers actually left over from a different unit. So if you want to use these, you can, but once they're out, they're out. And only let each student have one. I know there's that student that will try to grab like 10 or 20 of them. So keep it down to one per student, just so more people can get that. If you want to bring in feathers, you're welcome to, but the craft works without the feathers. Those are just kind of a fun addition. The other thing is this is kind of funny, extra body parts envelope. So rather than giving each student 3 pages and having them cut out little pieces, you can see if the type of beak or feet that they need is already in here, and then that way we don't have to waste as much paper. So keep that in mind. You can spread those out so students can search for them before going to a brand new sheet of paper. I think that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at mitchellelf@gmail.com, and have fun with this one.